It's week 2 of the NFL, and we'll get a look here at Josh Allen. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Steelers and the Browns on Monday night.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The second of 2 games tonight. It's the Browns and Steelers underway to wrap up week 2. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A first carry now for Chase Edmonds. And he'll get this up to about the 40. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And they get Tristan Wirfs, first-round pick in 2020. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Mahomes now to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. And Patrick Mahomes, guys, he's playing at such an elite level. Defensively, coming into a game like this, Charles, it's got to be a lot of things, but what worries you the most?
I think you're exactly right about that. The list is extensive about what worries.
Mike Tomlin has reached for that red challenge flag, and he'll throw it out there.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Look at this Steeler defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally you want teams to gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop it. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw here. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He's an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Ball start.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Allen. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, it certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I'm thinking the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Strong running at the 30. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Hall. And they'll get about 2 there to the 36. We look at this Browns defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into it and try and knock it loose.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll toss this right side to Hubbard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. On play action, it's Mahomes. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
But you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Myers. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And a short gain down to about the 33. Rodney McLeod up to make the tackle. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Allen. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This is Smith with a grab. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Mahomes. It's complete to Brown, right side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. They'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Edmonds going to get the handoff here on the option. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On the give, this is Hubbard. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield.
Touchdown, Browns! A.J. Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out come the Steelers. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Allen now looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now Allen. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Hall. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Here's Hubbard. And a good stiff arm and some space to run. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Right back to Hubbard. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Now here's Mahomes. And he is caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
And he is going to have a Browns first 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 of the 12. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. Allen off the play fake. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fair catch signal for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and those two are tied up as they play the 2nd quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a 2nd game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half.
Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll come on and kick for a 6th time tonight. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Browns to take over. They fell last week to Cleveland, but they're on top here as they start this drive 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Holding offense.
That's on the guard, Alex Kappa. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Throw complete right side to Cooks. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because They handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you try to have a few men in the box.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork, we saw a good job defensively to recover. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Hubbard is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Sometimes offense, if you get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing now is Allen. And his throw is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it. And oftentimes,
Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. A give running right, it's Hubbard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Another carry now for Edmonds. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Mahomes going to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. And it's 3rd down. Terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Now Mahomes. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points. This is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The Steeler offense set to regain possession. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
To the air, Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 2nd and 9. And that's complete to Cooks. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Here's 2nd and 3. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's caught. Smith. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now Mahomes to the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed.
And he's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And they will not be able to add on to their 20-point lead. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Josh Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Edmonds going to get the handoff here on the option. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 74 yards on the ground for Edmonds. He's got a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And Cooks has it over the middle. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Stuck for the loss by Devin White.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Straight ahead with Hubbard, and he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Josh Allen and the offense now. Down by 13, 2:25 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Time becoming a factor, down 2 scores, though they have 2 timeouts and, of course, the 2-minute warning to work with as well. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Allen. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now Allen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's to the 15. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them,
Both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Allen going to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And they'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they will fall to 1-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.